What is up, YouTube, and everybody out there listening? If this is your first time tuning in, don't forget to subscribe to the Heated Waves podcast. I am yours truly, Mr. Bradley, with my colleague and best friend, motherfucking T-Ball. What's up?
What's good, guys? Glad to be here on another episode of the Heated Waves podcast in the Heated Waves studios. As you can see, we got a little different look back here behind us.
Kobe.
We will get to that here in a minute. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Unfortunately, we got some bad news here. Mr. Bradley, can you break this down for us? What do we got going on?
Of course. Everybody heard the tragic news, of Kobe Bryant passing. So today's show is going to be tributed to Kobe Bryant in every fashion you could possibly think of. We love him. We were inspired by him. I mean, I'm sure there's millions of people that were.
He was one of my heroes.
We're going to share some stories here today of, our favorite maybe plays or moments or things that we've, known about Kobe or found out. And we're going to tell you some facts of what we know exactly, what caused the crash or what happened and kind of all that mix and just kind of mix it in together. And I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to have the some plays running in the background of we thought were Kobe's, some of his greatest plays and just amazing wow moments in his career playing in the background for you. So enjoy that and enjoy the show. But let me just start off by saying when I heard the news, man, that was just like anybody else that grew up with Kobe in that era, it was just the most heartbreaking thing ever, man. You're talking about the man, the myth, the legend. Like I always say, the second best basketball player
Black Mamba.
To ever grace the stage of basketball. I think it's Jordan and Kobe. I'll never deny that. I don't think it'll ever change in my lifetime. So it was just a sad moment, man. I mean, I cried the next day. It didn't really, work its way. And you broke the news to me. You called me. I was at the grocery store.
Dude, it was
T-Ball
crazy.
over here is like, man, did you hear it? And I'm like, what? I'm thinking something crazy, like some more Antonio Brown shit or something, whatever.
Yeah.
And no, it was, you're like, man, yeah, Kobe Bryant died. I'm like, bullshit. I think that was everybody's reaction, right?
Right.
Like, everybody's like, bullshit. Kobe don't die.
I mean, that was the same reaction I got whenever I found out because I had woken up at it had happened like 9:30 or something like in the morning. And
Yeah.
I woke up at like 10 in the morning and I had heard from a friend that here's this, link to TMZ saying Kobe Bryant dies in helicopter crash.
Of course it's TMZ.
I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, let's see. But it's TMZ, so, I click on the bullshit anyways because I want to see what they got, worked up here. And I start reading and it kind of all looks real. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? So I go and I'm continuing to look on Google and I see it on there and I'm seeing other people putting it out, possible plane crash or helicopter crash in Calabasas. Kobe Bryant assumed to be on that helicopter along with daughter, and then it was his wife, and then it wasn't his wife, and then it was all his kids, and then it was a bunch of people, and just a crazy situation. I mean,
It's hard to fathom.
I was in disbelief for like a minute. I was like, there's no way. I just had to keep reading article after article, and finally, after like a couple hours, it clicked. I even hit up my sister, and I was like, one of my heroes died, sis. She's like, Kobe? And I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, this is at 41 years old.
He's 8 years older than me and you.
Yeah, I mean,
that just don't make sense. And that's what I kept saying to you on the phone. You remember, I was like, man, that don't make sense. Like, how?
Sports legends, I see a lot of posts, and they say heroes get remembered, legends never die. And if you think about the legends that you looked up to, like no matter what sport it is, baseball, basketball, football, like everybody that you looked up to is still alive. They get old.
Yeah.
And you continue to remember them until they can't get out there anymore. And it's just one of those instances where we lose somebody who's accomplished so much in their life and was doing so well.
And not just the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, he just all around a great player, person, father, husband, just a standout guy. And
teammate, coach.
He's done amazing things, and it's just a crazy situation. So can you break it down for us? What happened?
Well, from whatever we all know, I mean, the investigation says that it's going to take, 14 months to 18 months to figure out exactly what happened, how it all started. But apparently there was a fire, I guess, of some sort in the helicopter that they were flying. The helicopter he's flying is a and I may be pronouncing this wrong. It's a Sikorsky S-76B helicopter that was carrying, Bryant. And it's a pretty big, chopper. Because when I heard the news, there were like 9 people. And I'm like, Jesus, man, this must be like military grade.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I didn't know that a little small helicopter. Because I assumed if he's just flying around, it's a small little helicopter. But they had 9 people in it?
No, it's
like,
a
Lord.
good size helicopter, like
it's a transport
It's
helicopter.
a luxury helicopter, too. And it's flown many times, but...
it's a nice fucking helicopter.
It's really, and it's big and nice, and it's I don't know, it's insane. But what we know is that Kobe and his daughter and 7 other people, which I feel disrespectful, or that it's disrespectful that they haven't named these other people and said who they are, because they mean something too. I mean, I understand Kobe's the big guy name and his daughter, but that bothers me. Sorry, side note. But
I mean, they did eventually release out.
I just haven't seen the names yet. I guess I haven't done enough reading on it. But
they've listed out some names. They showed the rest of the people.
I've seen the pictures.
I've seen posts and stuff like that. It was basically a bunch of people that he knew that were on the helicopter with him that all went to the Mamba Academy.
Yeah, it was coach, friends, kids' friends, and
he was
other
giving
personnel.
their daughters and mothers and husbands a ride in the helicopter.
Right, all his people. But the plane goes down in a fog-covered hillside in Calabasas, California. Don't really know where that is. I'm sure you do. You're from Cali.
I don't know exactly where it is, but
right.
I've heard of it.
But they're on their way to a youth basketball tournament, which was his daughter's that she was playing, and she was phenomenal.
Gianna.
Yes, if you go and watch some video on her playing with her dad,
she's good.
Very good.
She got that little step back like he do.
You better be good if you're Kobe's kid.
Yeah.
And he was, side note again, he was asked, how are you mad that you never had a boy, to carry on your legend? He goes, Gianna wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that if she was here. He's like, if you ain't seen her play, you should. So, but it's a tragic thing. But yeah, it basically what investigators are saying. It could have been obviously, they're going to say it's a mechanical failure because that's exactly what everything does.
Yeah.
But there were some questions because. What went wrong with the experienced pilot? And he frequently flown these same routes.
Yeah, I'm sure this is like almost an everyday thing.
Yeah, and he did it all the time. But the guy didn't have. One of the last messages he told air traffic control, he had to climb to a higher altitude to avoid cloud layers. So he knew that this was coming up. But this guy actually didn't have a certification in flying in weather like this, like heavy fog. And the big factor that got me is. Where in Calabasas, California, where they're at, they grounded all police helicopters that day where they were flying into that fog. So it's like, they had a radio ahead. That's how it goes. Air traffic control has to ask about weather. They check radar. It's like, why would you fly into that anyway? But if those are the most experienced helicopter pilots out there, or police guys. Think about that.
I think they were saying there that it came out of nowhere, or they were trying to rise above it, and they didn't have enough time. And
it was, and they smashed into the side of that. But the guy didn't have the certification. They also didn't have TAWS, which is Terrain and Awareness Warning System, which tells you if you can't see visually, because they said it was so bad that cars couldn't see on the highway to drive. So think about going 150 miles an hour in a helicopter. You definitely can't see in that. And so that's why they have the TAWS system, the terrain thing, so he can read terrain. And if you have an experienced pilot, which he was not in that field, because you have to take separate flying courses, you have to have like so many hours of flying in that kind of weather. He didn't have those. This plane or helicopter didn't have the TAWS system. They didn't even have a black box on this helicopter. I found
there was no recordings, no black box.
Yeah, there's no voice
nothing.
recording. I thought that was very odd that there was no black box. I may be thinking too much into that, but
they probably had headphones and walkie-talkies to where they could hear each other, but nothing was recorded.
Yeah, and he said he had
because it was a passenger helicopter, a private one.
It said they had to climb to 2,300 feet. They ended up hitting on the hillside at 1,000 feet, which ended up being 152 miles per hour. They projected this crash. So I mean, if you look at the pictures and stuff, it's devastating.
They said the crash was pretty bad that they had to fight off a bushfire before they could even get into the wreck site. The sad thing is imagine being a mom or a dad and you're in that situation and the last words you're about to have with your child. Like, I watched you come into this world and now I'm about to go out with you.
Well, you don't want to bury a child.
All right. It's just, you're about to go down. You're like, oh no God, woo, start hearing the warning signs. The shit starts coming out and what goes through your mind? Like, I mean, you got to imagine
That's the most terrifying.
You just hold
thing
on
in the
to your
world.
child and tell them you love them and
Kobe.
hope for the best.
Like Kobe, Kobe. This was him. He's got the. He's so calm and cool and collective. You've seen him in the court do this, and he was holding his daughter and going, "It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay." And he calmed her down, and they ended up crashing and dying. And I can see him doing that. Mama mentality of him cuddling and cradling and be like, everything's going to be okay. And she would believe it because he's so awesome at that and just good. And then, it's tragedy. It's horrible. It's like, I hope we find out what happened. And I hope it's not some stupid thing where this pilot is just dumb and did a dumb error or was drinking or doing some stupid crap that led this tragic event to happen, because Kobe Bryant's an inspiration. He's more than basketball. And if anybody's out there watching, let me just say that real quick. And you can go right into whatever you need to go into. Kobe Bryant's more than basketball. He's an inspiration. Like, he had Mamba Academy, that has tons of programs and things for young kids from ages kindergarten all the way to 8th grade or even higher, that just does so much for people. And for women's basketball, he's done so much. If you guys don't know, you really need to read into it, because Kobe is special. Like, you don't cry, over a basketball player. Like, people don't just cry over, Michael Jordan dies. It's sad, but no one's going to just start crying. They're crying because of what that person is and represents and what they did in this world to change things.
Yeah, you watch them on TV and for years and seen them and read about them on the news every day. And
doing magical things.
You put their poster on your wall.
Right.
It's weird. Over the last 20 years, Kobe Bryant's granted more than 250 wishes of children battling life-threatening illnesses through the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Absolutely amazing.
The foundation's Facebook page is called Bryant. The man does do a lot of things. He's an official ambassador for an after-school All-Stars. It's a national children's charity that provides after-school programs to 72,000 inner-city kids.
Nice.
Yeah, him and his wife, they have a family foundation public charity dedicated to improving the lives of youth and families in needs, creating homes for them, stuff like that. So, yeah, he's not just a person on the court who we watch dribble the ball. He's somebody who's changed people's lives in all kinds of different ways. Other than Jordan, this man right here made me want to play basketball.
Right.
I'm a baseball guy. I played baseball practically year round, but when I wasn't playing baseball, I was playing basketball.
And what were you saying when you shot?
Kobe
there
or
you go.
Jordan.
Right, that's it.
Dude, it's just, he's one of those superstars. He's a superstar.
And it was more than that.
He's a family home name. You
right.
hear it in everybody's home.
And
from LA to New York City.
And you loved him.
All the way up into Canada, everybody, even in Italy, the man wasn't even born in America.
Right. And he speaks fluent, I can't remember how many languages, but Italian is.
He was a very smart person.
Very smart.
Very smart person. Broke down basketball in ways I've never seen broken down before. He could have been a great analyst.
That's what I was waiting. You know what I mean? Like, I was waiting. I'm like, man, Kobe, get into the game analysis, or just keep doing something with
Shaq
us.
was talking about him. The last time he said he even talked to Kobe was in his last game, and he told him to put up 50, and he put up 60 instead.
Right. And his last, he became the oldest player to score 60 points in their final game too.
Yeah.
And that's what's amazing. That goes to show you. It's like, hey man, Shaq was joking. He's like, man, I want you to put up 50. It's your last game. Put up 50, man.
Dude, boy.
Kobe's like, nah, I'll do 60.
Yeah.
And that's just something special. It's like, you said 50. Like, who the fuck goes and scores 50 in a game anyway? Now everybody's going to be like, oh, he shot a whole bunch of shots. They weren't really playing defense. It ain't even the case. Think about it before that. He blew his Achilles out before that.
Right.
And came back and did that, gave it his all his last year. Well, last couple of years.
They didn't let him have
that.
those buckets.
Right. Nobody does. Like, that's blasphemy to say, but there's just so many great moves. Like, he's the closest to Jordan. I hate having the conversation because Jordan's the man.
Yeah.
But Kobe copies him, but made it even better.
As you can probably see from
on some of these videos that we're showing, it's going to have the Kobe and Jordan. They both do the same things, Like, he took his game and then made it his own, of course, right? Kobe made his own game, but he copied the moves, But to go in there and be like Mike and be,
take it to a whole nother level.
Right. Not saying he's better than Mike.
No.
That's not what we're saying. No. And giving all the credit in the world to Mike because it's MJ.
Right.
But Kobe did it with fashion, and he went out and had 5 championships. I hate when people go, well, you had Shaq. He had this. Okay. So did Jordan. Look what Jordan had.
Well, let's break it down. He's a 5-time NBA champion.
Right.
He's been to the finals 7 times. He's 5 for 7.
Should have had finals. 7. That would have been incredible.
2-time NBA Finals MVP, NBA Most Valuable Player, 2-time scoring champ, 18-time NBA All-Star, where he was the MVP of like 4 of those. 12-time All-Defensive Team, 15-time All-NBA Team, Rookie Team, Slam Dunk Contest. He's also the youngest player to ever win a Slam Dunk Contest, the youngest player to play in a game. I mean, he holds so many records. He's just done so much in the NBA. He's just established his name in a way that most players never have or never will.
He actually won a slam dunk contest in high school too, and there's actually video of it. It's pretty sweet.
Well, speaking of high school, do you know why he went from number 8 to number 24?
I don't, but I will tell you, number 24. That's why I've loved number 24, and Griffey was number 24, and that's why I always wore it, and I got it tattooed right here.
Yeah, it's a good number.
But no, I do not know. Why did he switch from 8 to 24?
For those who don't know, Kobe Bryant was number 24 in high school. I think he wore number 33 for a little bit as well. When he got drafted back in '96, I think it was, before he actually got drafted, he played in an Adidas camp. Where he was number 143. Now, let me get back to that number there. He was number 24 in high school, but when it came time for him to actually be drafted, the number 24 was actually already taken. And I don't know if there's anybody out there that can tell me when Kobe Bryant was drafted, who was wearing number 24 at the time, being the reason he could not wear number 24.
That's a good trivia.
So think about that. Let me know if you guys
comment
can
down
find
below.
That. But because this player was wearing number 24 already, and he couldn't wear number 33 because that was none other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's number that they had already retired.
An amazing player.
So what he did is he took the number he wore in that Adidas camp, 143, added it up, and created 8.
Nice.
So he wore number 8 until he had the time to actually switch and become number 24, which he said basically that the number 24 is a growth. Physical attributes aren't the way they used to be. The maturity level is greater. Marriage, kids. Start having a broader perspective being one of the older guys on the team now, as opposed to being the youngest. Things evolve. So it was basically a movement to evolve for Kobe to become number 24 and get back to his roots and say, I'm the older guy now. I got to take control. This is what I need to do to win. And that's the number 8 to number 24 story. But yeah, Kobe Bryant, just one hell of a player. I mean, he played in L.A. his whole entire career.
Going back to number 24, that just tells you again something.
I mean, he's the youngest player to score 32,000 points, youngest player to score 33,000 points, surpassing Kareem. 32,000 was Karl Malone's.
Karl Malone.
Youngest player, I mean, just to start in an All-Star game. He's the only player in NBA history to score at least 600 points in the postseason for 3 consecutive years.
Nice.
It's fucking incredible. That's when he became the Black Mamba. I don't know when the official title came out, but I think once he realized he needed to buckle down, that number 24 came out, Black Mamba nickname was established, and he just did what he did. He won 3 championships wearing the number 8 and 2 championships wearing the number 24. So,
nice. That's pretty sweet. Some good facts and what to know, about, because I have no idea about any of the 8 to 24 stuff. I think that's incredible, though, going back to his roots. But let me go back to the 24. Like, that goes to show you how humble, how determined, and amazing Kobe was to not be a LeBron and I'm number 23. I'm the chosen one. Like, he knew Jordan was number 1, right? I mean, some people may think this is some crazy conspiracy thing that I'm talking on, but to not wear 23.
I think Kobe was just trying to separate himself from Jordan.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting to. And he's not saying he is Jordan, or as couldn't do some of the things Jordan could do, but he could do some extraordinary things that Jordan could do,
right?
And do some things that Jordan couldn't do. You know what I mean? And it goes to show you just the guy's persona, and just him as a self, to have enough gratitude, enough respect to be like, you know what, I'm not going to be 23 because, one, I'm not good enough. I'll never be that, but I will be, my own whatever at that greatness or whatever, my own greatness. But I'm going to base it off Michael, and I think if anybody is allowed to do that, I think it is Kobe. That gets to actually copy him and do the same things, because he's the only one that could. If you think about it, Kobe's the only one that could actually do what Kobe or Jordan could do.
He won us 3 gold medals, and I mean, even if you look back to him in high school, his senior year, he averaged 30.8 points, 12 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 4 steals, and 4 blocks per game as a high schooler.
Right.
I mean, the man brought us 3 gold medals. Like I said, he's just an amazing basketball player, and I think his inspiration from Jordan was the accumulative of him knowing how hard and what Jordan had to go through,
and how hard you have to work.
And everybody makes Jordan that standard.
Yeah, he's the standard.
What's the best way to complete that standard or get up to that standard is following the same process.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he copycatted him. I'm saying that he did things that Jordan did, some things that Jordan couldn't do, and established him as, you followed that same path and then you made it your own.
Right.
You established your own standard. Because there's different generations. Because it's the same. Our generation compared to, the best to Jordan, and then Kobe came, and somebody a little bit younger than us started putting the standard at Kobe, and then LeBron came, and that's the new standard with some of these people. And then, but it all, in my mind, relates back to Jordan.
Yeah.
So I just think and that's why I liked him so much as a player, because he had, like you said, he had to shoot 50 fucking shots. Well, guess what? He won the ball game.
Yep.
And he shot those 50 shots because they were losing.
Yeah.
And Kobe's the best one on the team. I mean, he won fucking 2 titles without Shaq. So
yeah, so shut up.
Everybody
haters.
said he needed Shaq too. He won
Even
him
Shaq
without
said
him.
that. Even Shaq said that.
So all around, just Kobe Bryant, man. I mean, it's a sad thing that happened. Shout out to him and his family. It's tough to lose not only a child, but the head of the household and the guy that had still so much to offer the world.
He was only on his second stage.
Get taken out in a freak accident.
Right, he's on his second stage of life. That was it. He's only 41.
Not even over the hill yet at 50. 41.
No, he was incredible shape. He's at different ball games. Giving coming up. Most of those all-star players that are on the team going up and shaking his hand, and him giving him some words of wisdom. It's like all those players listened and looked up to him too, because at one point those young cats was growing up watching Kobe play, right? Yeah. Like you were saying, the standard. They set their standard to Kobe because that was the standard at the time. And think about this. When Kobe, you know what? Nobody wore high or low top shoes in the NBA. It was always high tops or mid tops, right? Kobe comes in, gets his own shoe. It's a low top. I can't remember which ones they were called, but he gets it, right? And guess what everybody else starts doing? He sets a trend. Everybody else starts getting low top shoes in the NBA at the time.
Yeah.
Like that goes back to your thing, trendsetter. He's the standard. He's the guy everybody wants to be like.
I mean, Adidas created their own line for him.
He had commercials that it's just, man, it's not fair. And the world's not fair. We all get that bullshit, but this kind of people like this that actually matter, that get taken so young or tragically or both, like him, it's not fair. Like, we needed more and to see more from people, great people. Like, I know I love sports.
And we're not saying that those other people didn't create an impact on this world as well. They just did it in a different way. Kobe was able to reach out on a national level. Those people were looked up to and loved by many people.
Yeah, there's no disrespect here.
So, because that's what I know a lot of people are getting upset about. It's like, oh yeah, Kobe Bryant and his daughter died, but what about the other people that were on board?
And that's what I was saying. I was saying that earlier. It's like I haven't really heard any name. I've seen the pictures and who they kind of were.
And, people are getting upset about it. And they've released the names, and they've done that. And, it's not that they're...
less important.
Yeah, less important. It's just that
but
they created an impact on a different level than
and
Kobe
the bigger
Bryant
name
did.
is obviously Kobe. That's on the helicopter.
It's like if the president's plane went down, it would say president and others, or president and 12 others, or president and crew go down in tragic plane accident.
Yeah, name the president, whoever it may be at the time. Right.
And then they would release the names. It would say President Donald Trump and the 12 others who are named blah, 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 blah. That's just the way it works.
It is. And we're not taking nothing away from
We're not trying to do that at all.
But Kobe, here's how it affected me, Kobe Bryant. Inspired me, I should say, and I guess affected me in life. He steered me down the right way. I grew up. Okay, I'm 5-6 years old, and Michael Jordan's playing on TV, right? And my mom's always been a sports person, so she's watching it. And I'm like, "Who's that, Mom?" "Oh, that's Michael Jordan, honey, the greatest basketball player there is." Just straight like that. And I'm like, okay. So I sat down and watched it, as a kid. And that's hard for a 5 or 6 year old to sit down and do. They don't do that unless it's bright colors and cartoons and shit at that. But it wasn't that. Michael Jordan inspired me that day. The next day my dad comes home, from work, and I go, "Dad, I want to be like Mike." Because that was commercials and everything going on. Because I seen all it on TV, whatever. He's like, "What?" And my dad didn't fucking care about sports. He didn't know shit about it. Didn't care to play him. He wasn't good at it. He looked funny when he would shoot, And I'm like, "Dad, I want a basketball goal. I want one." He's like, "Okay, why?" And I was like, "Because I seen Michael Jordan play. I want to play basketball." He inspired me, right? So my dad cuts down a fucking tree, puts it as the pole, and we go and get a basketball goal, and I play up there every day. And then as I grow up, of course, I watch Jordan's era, die out and him retire, do the baseball thing, whatever. And then Kobe comes around, right? Kobe changes.
During Jordan's era, a little bit. At the end of Jordan's.
Yeah, he got to play a couple years with him, and it's sad we didn't get to see more like 10 years.
He was handing over the torch.
Right, and that's amazing. And from that point on, when I started watching Kobe Bryant, I was like, man, I'm so sad, that Michael Jordan, my inspiration to play ball, to start playing ball, it retires. But I'm like, man, this guy's just like him. I started watching. I'm like, man, this reminds me of Jordan, which inspired me. And I'm like, I want to be like Kobe. I want to be like Kobe now because, like you were saying, he's the new guy. He's the guy. He's the standard. He's everything. And I'm just like, every time I shoot Kobe. Or I'd be like, I was playing Jordan and I'm Kobe, or I'd play Kobe and I'm Michael Jordan, playing both roles in the backyard, you know what I mean? One-on-one against myself.
Miss comes off. Oh, no, I'm
Kobe's
Jordan.
got it. Oh, he goes to the corner, shoots a three on Kobe, he splashes or miss. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And from that day forward, a little bit after that, I was just like, man, Kobe's the best thing I've ever seen. He's my favorite player.
Mr. Clutch.
And at the same time, I'm watching King Griffey Jr. play number 24. He swaps over to 24.
Most craziest shots ever.
Yeah, I mean, 81. Jordan didn't do 81, guys.
81 is retarded.
And everybody's going to be like, oh, it's a crappy Raptors team. That wasn't that. It doesn't matter. They're a pro NBA team. Go watch the fucking tape if you don't understand that game. He was doing fadeaway threes on 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
In the corner. The corner on the sides, guys, on the basketball court are the hardest statistically shot to shoot in basketball. And he's fadeaway swapping these on 2 or 3 guys.
Dude,
driving in. That was the greatest game I've ever seen him play. My favorite. I just couldn't understand. I was like,
extremely entertaining.
Wow. I think he had most threes he ever had before.
5 seconds left. You got Kobe Bryant with the ball in his hand, and you're like, oh, shit,
something special's about to happen.
He's going to get it done.
You know what I mean? It's just, and it's sad because
I remember
it's not going to be there no more.
It was an NBA, I don't know if it was the finals or if it was the conference championship game.
He went to a lot of those.
Rick Fox was on the team.
Good old curly hair.
There was a couple of seconds left. The Lakers were down, I think, by 3. Kobe was at the line. He whispers something to Rick Fox, and Rick Fox, giving him this, are you sure you want to try that? Why don't we just play this one safe? Kobe Bryant had it in his mind that since he's getting 2 shots, he's going to make the first one. And then he's going to purposely miss over to the left side on Rick Fox's side. And Rick Fox is going to tip it put it back in and tie the game.
The setup.
That's exactly what he did. Makes the first one. Misses the second one perfectly to Rick Fox's side. Luckily, Rick Fox does his job and blocks out. Gets the rebound, goes right back up and puts it in and ties the ball game. Then Kobe comes back down after a missed shot from the other team and basically makes the game winner and wins the game and sends them to like the NBA Finals. It's just an incredible player and beyond imaginative.
Well, just his work ethic and like people.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, absolutely. No, hands down. And it's going to be this year. They were going to do it, I think, next year, the year after that, but they're definitely doing it now because it should be. He's a legend. You're right. Legends don't die, but they'll make you cry and make you ask why. Because it's like, why is he gone? Why is this guy? Why isn't it somebody else that, played in the NBA, if we're going to swap somebody out, because I would love to at this point because I want Kobe back. LeBron. Everybody does.
LeBron.
Switch LeBron. Yeah, switch LeBron. God way, he takes the good people.
It was his time, I guess.
But why, why? Why this amazing person that has done more than just basketball? I can't stress that enough.
Hindsight's 20/20, my brother.
It is, but it's I don't know. It's one of those things that you'll never get over. And it was on my brother-in-law's freaking birthday of all days. That's terrible. Like I had just texted him and said, "Happy birthday, bro."
Right.
And then you call me, and a little bit later, I'm like, "Man, that's crazy." He starts texting me about it too, But I don't know. I could tell you another free throw thing. Let me go back to your free throw thing. So I can't remember who it is. It's just like Jordan too. Jordan shoots the eyes closed free throw bets. I think it was Mutombo.
Hey Mutombo, watch this.
But the most inspirational time at the free throw line was when he blew his Achilles.
And still shot his free throws?
Got up. Because most guys are going to do what, T-ball, when that happens to them?
Go out.
Be carried off the court. That's right. That shows you how much heart, how much, everything this person gives to get up and shoot not one, but 2 free throws, hit them both.
Right.
And walk off by himself off the course, basically. And that's all you got to see the rest of the year. And they showed the replay, and you can tell he ruptured it. But it's just like, to get up from that's the point that you're the best. Or one of the two.
Amazing person.
And you have the heart to do that because most guys are going to give up. Because that's such a hard thing to come back from, man. That's how you walk.
Dude, you need that thing.
And he comes back and he balls. So it's just another one of them stories. We could go on and on. Like, it's tragedy at its worst. You're seeing some amazing plays in the background of Kobe Bryant. And if there's anything we missed today, of course, let us know. Any inspirational moments from you guys at home watching, or any comments you want to make, like, was that your idol growing up for basketball and whatever? Just let us know, But I could go on and on about this.
R.I.P. Kobe Bean Bryant, man.
That's right.
It's
and
too young.
And his daughter Gianna.
You and your daughter.
The other 7 passengers that I'm sorry I don't know your names, but I personally nothing but mad respect for you guys.
Hopefully, yeah, you're up there getting fucking crossover tips from Jesus and something.
Kobe, I never taught you this one. Let me show you this.
You thought he was sweet up here, bro?
Right.
He's like, you thought Jordan was good?
Dunking all over.
It's, I mean,
It is what it is at one point.
A lot of people affected by this. So, we just kind of wanted to bring you guys, some of the things we've seen over our past.
Some fun discussions.
It's just
what we know.
Sad day in the NBA and around the world.
Yeah, Kobe was a great. He will always be a great to me, and I'm just sad that people never got to grow up in the Kobe era.
Yeah,
those kids that missed out and have to look up to LeBron. I get it. LeBron's a great player. He really is, but he's never going to be Kobe either. He can't. He can't be Black Mamba. So. And I'm going to say that to my dying day. I know plenty of people are going to argue with me on that, friends and random people, but
that's okay.
It's Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron. Yeah. If you're going to go those 3, if that's, you're going to talk about those 3. So yeah, that's all I got.
That's it.
R.I.P. Kobe, R.I.P. Black Mamba, R.I.P.
all the rest of those people on
fallen
that
souls.
Helicopter. Tragedy.
Especially for his wife and those other girls he's got. He just had a baby last June.
Yeah.
So... my heart goes out to all that. I hope there's so much people around them that, keep them in good spirits and help them out. Because she's going to need it, man. That's tough. Like,
I hear she finally released a statement.
Yeah, and it was sad as fuck.
Yeah.
So
I know Shaq had some pretty sad words to say.
Yeah, big old Shaq was shook up. That was, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. That's kind of just, like we said, our outlooks on the NBA and how Kobe Bryant affected in his transcending journey into the Hall of Fame and everything. And I was glad I got to be a part of that and witness that. And I hope you guys got to, too, from T-Ball here in the Heated Wave studio. Thanks, guys.
And from Mr. Bradley, RIP Kobe, and hope you guys liked it. And if we didn't have enough time to talk about some more stuff that we probably missed that are very significant to you guys, so let us know. Comment and share, do all that good stuff. Hit notification down below, and subscribe, of course, please. And check us out everywhere on Facebook at Heatwaves with a Z. You can find us there. So, peace out, guys.
Later.